Welcome to a new build video. Today we're looking at Freeze Arrow, and it's also going to be linked to Frost Torrent here. So as you can see, there's going to be a crazy amount of frost projectiles going on. Yeah, let's get into it. Freeze Arrow here being awakened with Sewers and linked to spell activation on attack hit with Frost Torrent, linked to Mana Storm, concentrated area damage, Chain, multi-shot, quick attack, and Frost Torrent here is also being linked to strike, multi-shot, additional cold damage, elemental damage amplification, mana storm, and of course the spell activation. For the seals we are using Seal of Striking with Verity on it and Seal of Dodge. Dampen resource cost is a great way to improve your mana issues. Vital Strike is the offensive cooldown, and it's linked to versatility, enhance effect, time acceleration, and increased duration. Siphon Life is the defensive cooldown with the lifesteal, also linked to time acceleration and increased duration. For the movement skill Roll, linked to disarm and use count. And then Shout of Justice here is being linked to activate the buff upon inflicting crowd control, which makes it so that every time this is not on cooldown, when you get stunned or frozen or anything, crowd control, this is being activated and it removes the crowd control on you. So you're basically immune to crowd control as long as you have this active. And once it's on cooldown, you can be affected by it, but only as long until this gets active again. Shout of Provocation is also being used for more damage, and that's linked to Lingering Shout, Fast Shout, Improved Shout, and Shout of Power. Yeah, let's look at the gear. The choice here is of course a bow with a quiver, with lots of attack damage here, damage against enemies affected by status effect, crit, attack damage. So for a budget version you would go double crit, some speed, and maybe some attack against status effect. But 4 good stats is all that you need to play this build. Perfectly fine up to level 90 maps, and then you can slowly improve your gear. On the quiver, attack speed, health on kill, damage against status effect, elemental damage, crit, and crit. And down here, attack speed stats. Actually, we didn't look at that. Another crit chance on the bow, but this is not needed for playing the build. That's just for min-maxing, so keep that in mind. So 8% elemental penetration here on the helmet base with dodge. 12% health, some mana on kill, lots of health here again. Buff skill effect for Vital Strike, Poison Resist, Chaos Resist, Hit Recovery. Okay, for the shoulders, Vesper Silence. On the body armor, +3 attack damage skill rune. Of course, that's insane damage with crazy amount of dodge, as much as you can get. You don't need that to be legendary. +3 is fairly easy to get. You can craft that within like a few days of reaching endgame, 2-3 days after reaching endgame. You can buy one of the bases for a couple hundred rubies on the auction house, and those can be farmed by selling your essence bundles and stuff. So yeah, and then 2 or 3 resists, and the attack damage skill rune would be good enough. And then the dodge rate here is a nice defensive bonus, but you don't need to have it to start out playing the build. Immune to bind here and max lightning resist here on the legendary. So cold penetration enchant on the gloves. Base is mana dampening with some armor dodge rate, and here with the enchantment over here you can have elemental damage, so that's going to be better than attack speed. If you have that, you cannot get attack speed on the gloves. There's double resist here again and crit. Okay, for the boots, tier 10 movement speed of course, mana cost reduced, lots of health, hit rating, triple resist, insane boots. If you have 2 resists and movement speed, that's fine. Everything else is bonus. Okay, for the amulet, crit, cold damage, elemental damage, health, triple resist. If you have one with 2 resists, elemental damage, some health, or elemental damage, some cold damage, that's already good. Okay, for the belt, health, triple health, minus mana cost, that's very good here. You can also have mana potion cooldown, recovery speed, mana potion cooldown effect, this kind of stats to fix your mana issues. On the belt, it's the best slot to fixing mana issues, so that's your priority here. After that, health, and after that, resists. Okay, on the rings, attack speed of course here with the attack crit rate base, lots of damage, and resists and health. So you can have any combination of those. Once you have 3 or 4 stats, you're good to go, and then from there you slowly improve your gear. So yeah, let's look at the charms. He's leveling up the Castor charm to 140%, so try to get those. They give you elemental damage taken decrease, so that's working on top of your resists. You take 10% less damage after your resist applies. So from all the 100%, you have 75% resist, so you take 25%, and from these 25%, 10% is taken away from that. So that's another big decrease for elemental damage take. And then you have some mirror cities for the additional cold damage. So let's see, attack crit rate, crit damage if enemies are present within a radius, so that's only for melee enemies. Attack crit rate, if they are not close, so that works on range, that's better. Two-handed and attack hit rate, attack crit, yeah. So everything crit if possible, but attack damage is also decent to start out. Projectile damage is also good for starting out on the chunk. Okay, for the skills, 7 points in the first one here. On the second on here, lots of damage again. Okay, on the third one here, let's see. Some hit rating, health. On the fourth one, some attack speed, projectile damage, attack crit rate. More damage over here. Okay. Now you would go up here, but we're gonna look at all the small ones first. So let's see. Mental damage, health, dodge rate, health. Okay, let's see in here the cold penetration, of course. And then here attack speed and attack crit. And here the 40% damage if you have all of your stats above 200. As you can see, he's splitting all of the stats kind of equal. And all the damage nodes down here. Over here, all of the two-handed ones. All of them that apply. We don't pick the fist ones. And in here, the damage against enemies affected by status effect. And yeah, the disabled health regen for lots of bonus health. Okay, for the specialized ones, going into convert mana to fix mana issues. Acceleration for attack speed and movement speed. Overpower for penetration and bonus damage. On the second spec, he's going into knowledge for more bonus damage, but mostly to get the elemental damage amplification. It also makes you take more elemental damage. So keep that in mind, it's also negative, the bottom statue, but you do so much more damage, so that's almost always worth it. And sharpness for the crit. And then here the status effect rate, and going over here to take additional lightning damage. If you have this node here, that's actually insane, because all of your cold damage will do 8% lightning damage, which means the enemies get shocked. Enemies affected by shock take bonus damage, so it makes your damage go up by a lot once you include that in your bow. Okay, damage amplification against crowd controlled enemies, and mana cost amplification for the exchange of getting a lot more damage. So that is also very important as a big boost to your damage. Okay, let's look at the relics here. Avatar of Zephyr is the main relic for the 15% elemental damage amplification. And the chaos resist. In here we can see cooldown recovery speed and mental stimulation. And then Avatar of Leo is being used for health cooldown recovery speed. The passive also applies when you have Avatar of Scepter active, and that's the one you want to have active all the time. Okay, let's look at the stats of the character. As you can see, Scarecrow count 1, 57 million DPS. So yeah, pretty insane. 6,000, almost 6,000 health. With the barrier it's more than 6,000. Stats are all above 200, so the bonus damage applies. 3.3 attack speed. So yeah, 0.5 million tooltip DPS. Yeah, that's quite powerful. Defenses, all are max except poison is missing 2%, but doesn't matter. You rarely fight level 100 areas anyways, so. And 47 cast resist, that's actually pretty good. And the dodge rate here 35% on top. The fist damage reduction is not that great, but with the dodge it's fine, you can still maintain your health pretty decent. So that's the video guys, thanks for watching again. I hope I'll see you soon. Bye.